Greetings, captains. Welcome back to another video replay from In World of Warships. Today we have one from our dear, well, absolute broken player, Wanderingbread, in his tier 10 Japanese destroyer, Haragumo. Now, usually when we have Bread talking about bringing broken and absolute destruction, he usually does it in his bigger things, like, I don't know, battleships of ginormous, biggest guns of destruction. But then he found this little toy, and yeah, the whole game changed. This is the new Tier 10 Japanese destroyer Haragumo. Now, if you're a veteran of World of Warships and have seen this recently and the changes and met up with this thing at Tier 10, you definitely know that this is going to be something devastating. For those uninitiated, World of Warships has released to complete the line on the Japanese, just like they did for the Russians a while back when they released, the sidelines for this ship, Haragumo and Grozovoy on the the Russian side. Sorry for a second there. So they released, for the Japanese finally, the two new destroyers to upgrade to the Akazuki class destroyers. They added the buffier version, the Kitakaze, and then the final one was the Tier 10 version, the Haragumo. Now, initially when they had this thing out in testing, they noticed the problem with the, quote, AP with the inertia fuse. So, to compensate, they allowed the 100mm guns to have 1/4 penetration to all ships with high explosive, which meant that anything with 25mm you can pen. What they didn't, I think, compensate for is if people actually pressed in did to the module for inertia fuse high explosive, like Bread does. And once I got this ship, I did as well. Because theoretically that means you can penetrate 32mm of armor, which means most battleships and their bows and everything on their superstructure, and including some of their plating armor, you can penetrate, which means every single high explosive round you could fire is a pen, is another pen, is another pen, is another pen. And for this ship, it is absolute cancer, because it has got 5 instead of 4 of the Akazuki and the Kitakaze of twin gun 100mm with HE of 1200 and AP of 1700. Both guns have a muzzle velocity of 1000 meters a second and have a base range of 12.6. Now, Bread uses, and I use as well too, the reload on this thing, which has a reload of 2.4 seconds instead of the base 3 seconds, which means you have a reload base with this now of 25 rounds a minute. And that's one gun. So, times that by 5, do you see how potentially devastating this ship can be? It is absolute cancer. Absolute cancer. So, you got that going for you. And let's not talk about the chances of you having adrenaline rush. Oh, that was absolutely even more evil. Now, Bread's over here, making his way towards the A cap here. And he's making his way pretty far good there. And now here comes the first ship he's spotting. And, oh, there's a Yu Yang he just spotted. Pots the speed boost, and he starts going right at him. And now, this Yu Yang is in serious trouble since he just got spotted. Well, don't worry. He's now dead. And now you can just open up, take this cap position, throw up a smoke, and just unload on this John Bart and this Republic. And you can see it's nothing but penetration after penetration on this ship. It's absolute cancer what you're doing to these guys. But that's just the name way of this ship. Hold a position and just let the shells fly. Because, as you can see, you're just raining hell on the target. And if you get a fire, that's just adding gravy to the drain. As you can see, you just keep constantly putting damage. And because of Adrenaline Rush, his reload's even faster now. Only by a slight bit. But as more damage gets onto a target, the more devastating that reload can get. And that's not even including the torpedoes in this thing. However, they are only 12 kilometers on this thing, so it's not significantly long, and you don't have really that ability. Remember, this is a gunboat, so Bread's just going to be able to take out on all these targets. He's got 2 fires down on the Jean Bart, and let's not forget, this is just on the one side. Meanwhile, the rest of the team are still playing footsies over on the B and C cap, but A cap, I think we safely can say that we're holding the line very well. Bread's having a little bit of difficulty of keeping footing rounds on that guy, so he's now going to have to switch positions. But you get enough there hits, and within just a few minutes of this match, he got himself to 152 rounds hit, and just a shy, now it is because of the fire, 50,000 damage. So yeah, that's the thing. Now you notice Brett also just knows right now there's a Montana that's coming around that island. He knows he's there, but I don't think he knows that he's still lurking there. So he's waiting for when this guy comes around, because he's probably going to try to come around this cap position and try to get the cap, which would have been a smart thing, but I don't think he's thinking about Bread here in his Haragumo. So he pops the torpedoes right at the edge of the island. Now what's nice about this ship, it also has reload booster for torpedoes. So he's holding, he's going to wait. There he is. He spots the Montana. He can see him too. Red's opening up on the shells on him, and yep, he's gonna get hit here with the secondaries, but he hasn't fired his main guns at him, but now he can't see him because, well, I think he's in smoke. And now Brad just can open up on this Montana and just DACA him to death. And he just sits there. He doesn't even retaliate. Oh wait, there he is. There's a retaliation, which was a slight hit, but here's the thing. You scratch me, and now I can do 5 more damage to you. You can see the reload's even getting faster now. And we're already at over... Look at all the target hits in this guy. Look, he's hitting the nose of the ship, and look, it's penetration after penetration. It's not even a non-pen. The shells are doing full penetrational damage. Now Brett can't see the ship anymore because, well, there's nobody spotting the ship for him. Now he's in positional range of acquired acquisition. And Brett's not even going to fire yet. Yeah, that's right. He's going to use the torpedoes.
Be gone, fuck!
Because the speed, he's able to take that turn, wait for the right moment, and pop the torpedoes. And 99 Gracie. There's Bread's second kill, and we're at 158,000 damage. Bread's not going to fire, because that public would seen him, and those secondaries would have been devastating. He doesn't need to. He's surely acquired those 2 targets, been damaged a lot right now. And of course, Bread has to give the friendly jab. I had more torpedoes. Surprise! Now, there is a couple weaknesses with this ship I had to point out real quick while we're waiting for the Republic to come around. Number 1, it only has 1 torpedo bank, like he said here, with the torpedo reload booster, just like the Akatsuki and the Kitakaze. So you do have to watch that. The rudder shift is 5.5 seconds, which is pretty good, but the turning circle in this thing is massive. It only can rival with the Hoborosk, which is pretty nasty enough as it is. And second of all, it's also got a massive, even with Concealment Expert, has a massive detection circle. but this is a gunboat, so that is negated pretty much by that. Now, a couple of the weaknesses of this ship is it has no defensive AA, so if you actually get some planes coming at you, that's going to be a little bit of a problem. But then again, it's a destroyer, so you're always going to have problems with freaking planes. Alright, Brad now is also going after another Republic. He's trying to run away from the whole fleet coming over towards him now from A, since there's no other threats. He's the last one around, so he's getting the full attention of basically a Hipper, a Des Moines, a Montana, and Bread in his Haragumo. And as you can see, like I said before, look, it's penetrating most cases with the shells. Just pen. And it's, I know it sounds like doesn't look like it's much damage. Like you see, it's only about, in certain cases, the hit's only like just a shy under 200 health. But the thing of it is, it's a death from 1,000 cuts here. He just can continuously fire on this guy, and each round is going to do partial, and that's not including the fires that he's getting on this ship. So within just that bit of chaos that we've been talking, he got himself a devastating, high caliber, 5 floods, 5 from the 5 torpedo hits, 2 kills, 422 hits already, and just got his 3rd kill, and now has 196,000 damage. Now the rest of the team has fallen apart on the BC side, and that is definitely a problem. The team is definitely going behind in points, and Grozovoy is trying desperately to get the game back in the winning favor here on the B side here. And he's trying to go after that Yamato, and it's not going to be a pretty sight if he gets spotted. So Red's going to go in there and try to get the B and get that Yamato. And agree, everybody's going to target him. They're already pointing at him, and they're going to focus him, which is a good move. Now, I'm also wondering if the Montana down on the southern side is thinking what I would think, which is go after the Hindenburg, who looks like he's taking the position way out of position out of the fight. And that would be a bad call for him. But let's go back to Brett here. No matter how far he is, he knows those guns aren't going to be firing him. There's nobody who can actually contest him. So he's just going to open up on that Yamato, because there's nothing he can fire at him. Plot twist. Yeah, there is. There's a Des Moines out there somewhere. And there's still the Hindenburg around, who could be firing at him as well. Well, let's see. Let me go spin my guns around, look. But yeah, he's thinking, he's saying, I think he was thinking of going after him. Well, surprise. Red can retaliate as well. Unfortunately, he did not get the kill, but that doesn't matter. And that guy definitely not meant. I think the chat isn't very happy with him. I guess apparently he tried firing torpedoes and he forgot. Hindenburgs and all German cruisers have a torpedo range of 6 kilometers. Up there's the Yamato. He just decided to pop out behind that island. Oh, but Brett knows where roughly he is, so he could just put the shells roughly where he is and just put a couple rounds in him. And look, within that much, he's able to do. Now he knows roughly where he is. He's just gonna pop the shells right at that corner of the island because that's where he was before. And sure enough, look, he's getting penetrations. So he's gonna keep the shots roughly where he saw him before. And there's a pen. There's another pen. Look, all he needs is to get a fire. He doesn't need to get the. Might not get the hit, but he might get the, you know, the fire, with the damage. So he's just opening up on that position, and he knows he's gonna hit him. No matter how many shots he's gonna miss, he's gonna keep firing at it. Oh, now he stopped. That's a good call too, because now his smoke has dissipated. And that means he's able to be more of like a destroyer. And there's the Carolina, who decided to now actually enter the fray. And Brett has his torpedoes, so he's going to position himself quite good here for the torpedoes. Does he look like he has the position? That's the thing. He decides to wait, which is a pretty smart idea, because like I said, he doesn't know if he's either going to turn out or come in. If he comes into this position between the island, that is going to be his death warrant. He could slow down, he could speed up, he can turn in, he could do multiple things right now to dodge possible torpedo strikes. But he can't really get there. And the problem is now time is ticking fast. We got a little bit of an issue with that, so yeah. Yamato's still hiding behind the cap over at B. Carolina is seeming to decided to stick his feet flat in the floor. Oh, no, he's not. He's decided to turn around and actually come towards this position. Unfortunately, I don't think he realizes there's a... Yeah. Bread pulls back, he fires the torpedoes, and because of that movement of going forward just a little bit, getting the torpedoes out and moving back, he can't be seen. And all those torpedoes are going to hit for sure. Yep. There's this Confederate and a 4-goal hull, which is the new badge that added to this game, which basically is close to Kraken, but not a Kraken. Oh, so close, he almost got in. And of course, the chat on the enemy team is not happy. And Brett's just gonna sit there and smile. Haragumo's fair and balanced. I believe that and recommend that too. Alright, so Brett's now making his way towards the B cap. This is still a very close game. If the enemy team is able to hold the 2 caps and possibly target a few of the ships out, they can easily win this. However, Brett is making his way towards the B cap right now. And he's going to make sure he gets his cap position and possibly kill this Yamato. Now the question is, where's your Des Moines? We haven't seen him since a long time now. We haven't acquired a position on him. He's got to be around here somewhere too. Well, I'm sure we'll find out sooner or later. Brett decides to come around this corner here. Remember, he has no more smoke, so... Ah, there's the Des Moines. Where you been, sir? I think you've been, missing your compadres for a while. And Brett has lost one of his guns partially incapacitated, but now he's got it up and running again. And that Yamato's now trying to go after Brett, his Haragumo. But he gets the kill, and he dies with the flesh wound. But that's a Kraken unleashed. Oh, that was so close there, getting that kill. You know, getting the finish. So now it's going to be what's going to happen left? Who's going to hold this? Because all they need to do is get the Des Moines. There's no time. There's 2 minutes left. They have 900 points. So it's got to be up to this Montana to actually step up in his A game and get this guy. And there goes Montana. He's going right after Des Moines. First shallow just grazes him just a bit. Des Moines is pulling back to hide, but I don't think he's going to have enough time because you got a big fat battleship who is moving very, very quickly towards the position. So he's got to get moving to get him. Oh, and he decides to come into view again. Montana's 16 inches go right out. It looked pretty good. And there's the kill. And there goes that team's defeat. All they had to do was just possibly hide. I think that would have been the best option right there.
That's all you have to do!
Run back, not get seen. But of course this team did not do that. So Brett comes out of that match with Kraken Unleashed, 4-goal hull, devastating Confederate and a high caliber with 266,000 damage, 541 hits, and a nice plethora of torpedo hits. Of 7 with all of them flooding with 8 fires. Very well done, Bread. Of course, top of the team. Montana also getting that finishing blow on that last Des Moines. Definitely well played. And a definitely salty crew on the enemy team. That only makes that adding icing to the cake. Of course, Bread doing at least 102,000 damage to Montana. Another 44,000 to the Yamato. And, well, to the Republic. And another 37 to the Yamato, sorry. The funny thing is, let's not look at that. Look at how many shells he has fired in this match. 1,130 shells were fired this match. And half of them penetrated. And that caused 49,000 damage to fires alone. Yeah, that's reasonably balanced. And even with all those shells fired, he still made a plethora of credits earned. So, thank you for submitting that to me, Bread. That was definitely, if it wasn't for you carrying, that match would have not been the win it was desperately needed. Haragumo for the win! Thank you so much, guys, for watching this little replay by Wanderingbread, given us by Wanderingbread. If you guys have your own, please submit it to World of Warship Replays and give me the submit the replay to me via email. I'll look into it as quickly as possible. And if, as always, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. I'll see you guys in the next one. Take care.